guys, I'm Kelly and I'm here with the rest of the leaders. We wanted to talk to you guys today about getting going with your business, whether that is getting started brand new or if that's getting restarted and relaunching your business. So each person can run their business the way that they want to, um, and your business is yours, but it's also important to understand that you don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself if life happens and you need to step back for a little while. It's okay. It's okay to say, hey, I know I was going gangbusters and I have all these things happening in my life. I'm getting married, need to plan my wedding, or my kids are getting ready to go back to school, just had a baby. There's all sorts of life circumstances that can create for you a need to take a step back and say, hey, I need to step back, and that's okay because you can come back and restart when you're ready. And we will be coming up with ideas, or you can always turn to your leaders and say, hey, how do I restart my business? So that is just something we want to make sure everybody is comfortable with. Make sure that you're doing what's good for you. Next up, I'm going to pass on to Rachel. She wants to talk about honesty and transparency.
Thank you. The biggest thing I've noticed when I have had to restart from taking a step back is being honest with my customers and my downline. I usually start off with, I apologize, especially with my customers, if there's a lack of communication from them. Just simple. You can say life happens. You can leave it as just a simple, I'm sorry for the gap in communication. Is there anything I can help you with? But making sure you're honest with them and acknowledging that you needed to take a step back does go a long way and makes things a lot easier when you are trying to jump back into things. So again, just making sure that you're honest and you're transparent with them is really helpful. And next is going to be Elisa.
Hey everybody, so if you have restarted your business and you feel overwhelmed, or say you want to take a vacation, a good thing to do is to plan ahead for that particular break, no matter what the break might be. I recently did a fair. It was pretty much a week long, all day long, sun up, sun down. So I planned ahead. I have a newsletter I design every month. So I had that like 95% done. Just had to fill in one box when I was all done with my break and then print it off. I made a whole bunch of stuff for the new upcoming catalog that just recently launched. I did new branding items. I made new stickers. I designed everything, but I might not have necessarily printed it out, but I had it all ready to go. And I was planning ahead for when I was totally done with fair, then I can just jump right in and get it done before the new catalog starts. So if you are taking that break, just plan ahead, whether you have stuff to create, stuff to print, stuff to schedule posts for, when you want to plan to announce any launches that might be coming up. It's a good time to lay it all out so you don't overwhelm yourself. And next up, we have Allison.
So one thing I like to do when I take a step back and restart my business, which I've done multiple times, including most recently, I'm a very numbers person. So I like to think in my head, okay, what kind of paycheck do I want restarting my business? So super easy. Figure, okay, if I want a $250 paycheck this upcoming month, I know that I make 25% commission on my sales. So 25%, I need to sell $1,000. So then I break it down even further and I figure out, okay, so if it's a 30-day month, that $1,000 might seem lofty, but if I break it down by 30 days, it's only $33.50 a day. And I take it one step further and I say, okay, I only need to sell 1 6-pack and 2 light bulbs every day to reach my goal for the month. If I miss a day, then I know that I have 2 6-packs to sell in one day because I missed that day before. And that helps me personally reach those goals when I make smaller goals out of it first. And lastly, we have Carly.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and it's not even just with restarting, but just kind of a good thing to remember in general, is to be careful comparing. you've all heard comparison is the thief of joy. Well, comparison is also rarely actually comparable. You're comparing oftentimes very different things. You're comparing your beginning or your restart to maybe someone's middle, someone who has been with the company for 7 years and you've been with them, 7 weeks, and you're comparing what that person is doing. You could also be comparing, say, your 5 hours a week that you put in to someone else's 20 hours a week that they put in. And so you have to be careful with that. And you got to think, like, am I doing what they're doing? If I'm not, I shouldn't be comparing myself to that person. There's a few SSDs that I really look up to, and I see them doing things like, they have at least 4 new teammates every month. And I'm like, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? Okay, well, I'm not talking to dozens of people every month like they are. If I'm not doing the same things, like, there's no comparison. So I guess the message is just, you decide what you're willing to do. You decide what effort you're wanting to put in. You decide what hours you're wanting to put in, because the only real comparison that you guys can do is compared to yourself and what you did yesterday and what you want to do tomorrow. So that's my 2 cents.